Let's go and confront the Hardie boys, see what they've got to say about this tape business. I'm going to get to the bottom of this if it kills me. My guy's quite literally on the brink of death. But I'm going to get to the bottom of this case.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
I'm going to do this first. Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. Like hell you have, he leans back unruffled. There's no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask your local junkies how clean your streets are in precinct 41 kilos. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south. Did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients from drugs to Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. He taps on his notebook, then turns to you. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace? No, no, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant. Alright, I think I will leave it to Kim. No, do the honour. You've earned it. Thank you. He turns to face the man. You're right, Titus. There's no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory, he rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street. Yeah, man, theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies. You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardie meant to run such a monopoly, he grins. For the good of the community, of course. This guy's so blatant about what he does. This is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off poisoning your own people. Good idea. Keep telling yourself that I'm going to go with this. It's disgusting. Boo fucking who. People will always take drugs. Might as well do it clean and organised. Yeah, that's what the labour movement is all about. Clean and organised. And the Hardie boys are running it. Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. Not quite yet, Mr. Hardie. There were 8 sets of prints at the crime scene. There's only 7 Hardie boys here. The 8th Hardie, the one who's missing, she runs the thing, right? My answer is fuck off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardie. I run this goddamn scene. Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future. And here we go. Back to the usual, the woman's size. I know. The little man raises his index finger excitedly. Fatty walked on all fours. He saw Fatty left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mom, Dennis. Nice, we've done that. That's more like it, boys. She turns to you. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know? I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardie boy? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. He sizes you up. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring. He shakes his head. Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe... This guy's put his foot in it. This person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her. So she's... So the girl's not part of the Hardie boys. She just assisted them. So there's an 8th Hardie and it's a Hardie girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth, the gardener? No, I doubt it's her. She's already there. Shut the fuck up, Glenn, he roars. I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop? So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy, and it's a she. And you don't like us talking about her. That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And he points to Kim. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you. Good. We're all watching each other. The lieutenant adjusts his spectacles. Officer, your question? There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardie sooner or later. Okay. So I talked to Klassje about the tape. And nothing. She stands by what she said. That fucking fucker. He stares at his beer for 2 seconds, intently, then turns to you. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape. Gold? It was just locker room talk. It's not evidence. It was dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything. It was bad. She pretty much laughed it off. I'm gonna say that. She pretty much laughed it off, Titus. Fucking fuckity fucker. He shakes his head in disbelief. And what did she say then? That's fine? People are supposed to be like that? Sounds like you wanted to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal. Didn't come to a surprise to her. She definitely wasn't scared. Actually, I think it made her nostalgic. If anything, she seemed turned on by the whole door gunning thing. Oh, I'm gonna say that. She seemed turned on. This has got to rile him up. Yes, in fact. The lieutenant looks at you, then him. So Kim's got my back here. I think she thought it was a little funny. Funny. Titus mumbles, his lips barely moving. No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright, he slams his giant fist on the door frame. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking... Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus. Her voice is a bit softer than earlier. Titus rubs his chin with his palm as if trying to grind it smooth. This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman? We're not crazy irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump. Yes, they are. And I think it's personal for you. I think you had feelings for her. I think that's true. We're not crazy. She's in denial, I'm going to say that. I think this is personal for you. You had feelings for her. Glenn explodes with indignation. Everyone's got feelings for each other. Where you going with this? It's alright, Glenn. He rubs his temple. I just thought I thought anyone would come round if they heard that shit. Apparently I was wrong. Yeah, that was fucked up, he smiles sympathetically. You wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic, or else you might antagonize him. Okay. Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened? I already told you. He puts his giant face in the hands and sighs. We fucking hanged him. There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. Come on, Titus. It's been a long day. I'm tired of running backwards and forwards between you. I can see you're tired too. Why don't you just... You know what? He gets closer. I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said fuck off. He throws his beer can down. This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits. That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over, you understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah? There is silence in the room. Elian starts to say something, then thinks best not to. On the floor, beer drips out of the can, into a small puddle. No one does anything about it. What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. He looks around. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union. Why don't we make it 40, huh? The man shouts from behind the counter. Why don't we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough. 100 beers, now we're talking. Glenn livens up. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager. The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be. Shit, okay. Convince Titus he has been manipulated 28%. Fuck. I'm gonna save it here. 28% chance of success. I'll take that punt.
It's you again. What is it?
Fucking get in. Come on, baby. Convince Titus he's been manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardie will never falter. One of his boys will. Just remember, it's about more than Klassje. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district, their responsibility. Outside in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked and the beaches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind. That's it then. Case closed. Look around. We're going home, Kim. Huh? The lieutenant raises his brow. He'll get it. Go on. Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you. Got it. He takes out his notebook. Kill you because they don't like you. All because of some chick. Oh, I bet you this gets him. Because of some chick. A wince. It's involuntary. Bring that up one more time and you won't get to write the report. The man's fists under the table are bald. You can tell from his neck and shoulders he means it. Yes, I understand, Elaine. That's your name, right, Elaine? You'll kill us, he scratches in his notebook. That's what they do in the Wild North. They just hang you like in the Dark Ages. They club you from behind, and that's what they told me before. It's cool, guys, you drag them out back. I want to say that. They club you from behind, string you up, and go back to drinking. It wasn't that. It wasn't, the fat man says with a wheeze. We didn't hit him, okay? So he's going back on his story. That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go for the... Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up. The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo. Turn to Angus, or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason? We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when... I knew it. Did I not say he was already dead before they hanged him? He takes a breath, wheezing. Shut up, Angus. He was dead before you hanged him. Fatty, the little guy hits Angus on the back of the head. A loud slap. Say one more thing to the cop and I'll... Dennis. Titus roars. Stand down or I'll beat your head in. Theo, he points to the old man. Take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. The room falls quiet. So quiet you can hear Angus wheeze. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying. I left it at home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. He grabs his chest. I'm sorry. Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Lizzie snaps at him. Now it's all pointless because of you. You wasted my time. I told you. Titus, he turned to him. He turns to him. I told you to give her up. Lizzie. He turns to the fixer. Your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everett. Fine, I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast, she walks off without looking back. So that's her out of the way. Fine, I'll tell him. Oh, that's all what she's already said. Continue. What just happened between these two? Well, she's completely fed up because she's been the specially trained lawyer to keep these in check and they've just completely fucked it up. You're in. He's all yours. Questions. Right. So you didn't kill him. He was already dead. He nods. You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it? We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see. So there was a wound. You should try looking for it one more time before you send the body away. Why? 'Cause the girl asked us to. They were in some shit. Did she kill him? Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't. He doesn't think she did, or at least he hopes she didn't. So what happened Sunday night? Klassje came down. He points to the stairs. She seemed really out of it, drugged up, even more so than usual, bug-eyed and gurning, you know, not in a fun way. It looks like she'd redosed after something went down. I'd seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. How did you know? I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario, only in reverse. Oh shit, okay. Good analogy, boss. The rat-faced man snickers. You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. He points at him. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus. He turns back to you. That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to. What happened then? We went upstairs, sure as day, the Merc was dead. And there was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking. He scratches his chin. Dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. So he was shot. Tibbs patched the window, and the corpse we hanged. Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardie? Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business. Right now he's grateful he hadn't gotten his brother into this mess. If Klaasje didn't kill him, why cover up? You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about? The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her from the old world where she came from. These people, who are they? They're powerful. He looks out the window. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid of her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away. And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder? Why would I? He shrugs. I guess we abide by all sorts of runways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. So who killed the merc then? Any leads? Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. So hold on. So let me just think. The window in her apartment is facing like southwest. So that's a clue. What are you thinking? I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either his or hers. Hers, you mean? Oh, nice. I've just learned that bankruptcy thing. Continue. I mean the people after Klassje. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her. I like that. The young guy nods. Been thinking the same myself. And you had ideas about his past too? I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They've got guns, training, years of bad blood probably. Or it could have been someone else from Krennel. He pauses to think. Tell you what I do. Check out the course for Tell you what I do. Check out the course for vantage points. Maybe consult with the ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do if I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you. He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. So whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers? In a manner of speaking, what do you mean? We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message. It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker, the missing 8th Hardie. The big guy steps towards you. Fella, you think too much. Ease off, alright. You're going to hurt your head. Little too far there, but you're definitely right. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardie boys. You don't know her anyway. You know it's okay for her to be a Hardie girl? Understood. Can you tell me anything about her? Name? Current location? Nope, he says. You're not getting to her. It's Klaasje you want to talk to. Okay. I'm gonna whisper to Kim we did it. The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see. Right, well that's it. Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time. Conclude. You do that. He grabs his beer and swirls it in his hand. Then think of something. Hey cop, before you go. Suddenly the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling rags in warm column. He looks up. Klaasje came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused the protection, but... Still, after all this headache. But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away. That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers. We'll take it into account. The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Well then. Fucking hell, that was intense. I need to learn this thing before I can save it. Bankruptcy sequence. It's easy. You just need to move on. Like a plague of locusts. Like a fucking plague. Failure is a core tenet of liberalism. When life closes the door, it opens a window. And if the fall is too steep, use the fire exit. Run to the roof. You always have that airship on the dock. The most important thing is to keep moving. Keep dreaming. Keep the auditors... Sorry. The auditors cannot get you if you keep running very, very fast. From one fuck up to the next. Intelligence. White check failures give +1 real. Okay then. +1 real. That's actually a lot of money. So we should try failing more checks. The bankruptcy sequence now complete. We're just waiting on the date of birth generator to complete now. I think that was the most intense conversation I've had in the entire game. Right then. So we can go up and speak to Klassje. 6:27. I think we should probably do that. Yeah. Confront her. We need to speak to a rich person as well. We've also got to ask her about Sunday night when it's dark. We need to see the body. Hold on, what can we do? I'm going to go to the body first because we need to investigate the body before we go to her, because we need to check that it has been shot, that we've missed, and luckily we've got it frozen in the freezer. Backyard wall. Horseback monument. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, it doesn't tell you. The mirror. I think that one's the backyard wall. Not sure. Right. Let's go to the dead body. Inspect this first. Wait there before we do anything. Oops. I've already done it. What I've done was, for this episode, is I've knocked the music down because this little tune that plays when you're outside here, like, somebody is copyright striking that on like all the videos. It's an absolute joke. So I've just turned it off. It's just not worth dealing with. Right then. Go on, mate. Go up there. I should probably have the torch on, actually. Oh, nice. We can do it now because I've got high perception. Search the body one more time. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh. First with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand. Here we go. His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent. Put your fingers in his mouth. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like... Now wait there just before we go any further. Remember when we looked at the dead guy's mouth and the guy told me, there's something down there. The body spoke back to me, there's something down there. He was right. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track. Play with it. This feels right. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone on the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. Open your eyes and look. A vision of blackened, dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished, no larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear darkened. This is it. He agrees. Keep going. Touch it with your finger gently. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Put your finger in. Your index finger fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach into his mouth, right into his brainstem. Brainstem. Yes, that's what this part is called. The body's talking back to us. You've seen drones. You've studied them. Feel around first. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn apart his reptilian complex. The funk soul's brother at the back of his head have gone dark forever. Push deeper. Your finger slide into the remains of his limbic system. There's no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All quiet. The cavity is here, cut right between the hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper. Push deeper. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching towards the inside of a skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him. Punch a hole through his mouth. Wriggle in. Your fingers reach towards his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly, cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. This must be the bullet. The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush. Ooh, fish it out. Let's try it. Ah, fuck. Push your hand further in. The bullet keeps rolling between your fingers as you beckon it to come out. A little help, Lieutenant? Out comes his small folding knife. The lieutenant moves his black blade across the man's skull, searching for the exit wound. There, not towards the protrusion. Withdraw your hand 4 centimeters, please. With a crack, he punches the knife in the skull, then one more time and one more, until the bone comes loose like an eggshell. Inside you feel the jello move from his poking. The bullet is still under your finger. Shit, can you push it out? Push. Nice, we got it. A fractured piece of lead, like a flower, blossoms from the man's head, followed by your finger. A bullet the lieutenant picks up between his fingers. Unknown caliber, rifled. You may remove your hand from the victim's head now, officer. Well done. Get in. Here's your prize. He drops the bullet in an evidence bag and puts it in your hand. Your other hand. The one not covered in blood from the cerebral cortex. He turns to his notebook. We need to add item to injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry. Wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. He underlines the injury forcefully. How does that sound? Correct. Opinion, fatal injury. Agreed. Click click goes the pen, and one last thing. We should amend injury number 3 ligament mark treatment. It's obviously the Hardie boys tampered with it. We should have known. Boom. He nods. I had my doubts. There was no signs of struggle on his hands, no claw marks on his neck, but still. That's what I said. I said there was no struggle. His brow furrows while his eyes glaze over. The lieutenant looks regretful for not figuring this out before. Maybe the bullet holds some answers. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I'm certain it has more to tell us. This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it. I think I need to wash myself. Oh, he nods. You really do. I'm glad to hear you say that. Your room in the whirling rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it this evening. What happens next? We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my Kanema. I can transport him to the processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. You'll be gone. What should I do in the meanwhile? Work on the case, tend to personal matters, try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighbourhood like this. I'll leave the choice to you. And one more thing, he looks you in the eye. Great work, detective. Thank you very much. The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic. Detective. After you bag the corpse, Kim will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly. Right. I'm going to leave it now. I've got an idea. I know what I'm going to do. I just want to do this as well. Right. I'm going to go and question Klassje. Is this not open yet? 3% still, bloody Nora. Right. I'm going to go and question Klassje with Kim. Then after that, I'll come back here, tell Kim to take the body in, which is an excellent thing to do because I want to go and attack Kuno's dad, and that'll give me a good time to do it. And also I can then go and talk to Klassje by myself to speak about what happened Sunday night. Right, we've got a plan. Got a plan, son. Hey, it's all falling into place. All the pieces of the jigsaw. So this girl was lying that whole time. So my instinct was right. She was manipulating me and stringing me along all along, and she did the same to the Hardie boys. She has a certain set of skills. Right, here we go.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing. Something in her demeanour has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come. The Hardie boys told us what really happened. I understand. She puts her coffee mug on the table. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this. You lied to us, miss. I didn't lie, not a lot. I've done my absolute best not to. I just... Come on. She lied through her teeth and you know it. Well, she did. It was a mistake. She winces. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Why did you waste our time then? Because of the Hardies. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. She looks at her feet. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. I see. I see, implying the Hardie boys are the law. Yeah, that's right. The Hardie boys are not the law, we are. I know that, but the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I'm to stay here, I need to get along with them. I kinda say a point, but it's not a good enough reason. You're right, there's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by the extension, the moral intern. She reaches for a new cigarette. And that's the people that's after her. That's who the Hardie boys told us. Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again, where the cold oceanic expanse lies, and behind it another world. Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern? She nods. You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. She lights a cigarette. What's going on? What do you do? Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will. What happens if they do? They'll kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. There's a wince and a painted little smile. Well then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. Here we go. For once you seem to have her off guard. Right, let's have a look. What did you do to have these people after you? I'm going to ask this. It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even Orange. What exactly did you do? Industrial espionage. I joined the business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company, the kind you really don't want to fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting. He taps on his notebook. I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you. The job was Elysium, County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Luxcap conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. But she really destroyed them. She still feels it. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Luxcap and their friends on the MI. She breathes out heavily. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. I'm sure that the people have done this. I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that. Serves them right. When I'm king, the savings bank will be first against the wall. That's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into. It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite, ordinary people. What I did to accountant, she shakes her head at the thought. A lot of people got hurt, she concludes. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more. What did you do? She looks down, then into your eyes. One of them killed themselves because of me. Shake your head. Not easy to deal with. How do you deal with anything? It's all just. She looks at you with pleading eyes. How do you do it? I'm a cop. What I do is right. By bargaining then, she takes a drag. I do that too. It's not all that effective. Okay. So what happened here the night he died? We were there, she points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Together in bed, I mean. Tell me exactly what happened. Okay, she takes a deep breath. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him, she breathed out. A moment's silence. His eyes were looking through me and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see, I could. A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it. I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. You were right, he did enjoy the moment of his death. So hold on, when we were talking to the corpse and the corpse was talking back, everything that corpse said was correct. He said he was enjoying his last minute. He said he enjoyed communism. I've never gotten to the bottom of that, but that's still funny. So my feelings were right earlier. He was enjoying the moment of his death. Yes, but how did he know that? Because I'm a legend. He just had a hunch. Detectives have these sometimes. Then what happened? He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There, she points through the window. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream. Not to scream. Then ran downstairs. I'm just having a drink. My throat's absolutely dry as fuck. There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides. Then she continues. I waited for the second shot to come, for me. I thought there would be one. It never came. She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails. Your cigarette, miss? Oh, she looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. Are you sure you're not making this up? Yeah, I need to probe her on this. I'm not lying to you. She immediately lights another one. What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible. 11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time, around midnight. That's okay, he makes a note. Were you inebriated? Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking. Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off. Much more than usual. Titus said you look pretty high. Oh yeah, she tilts her head. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head. Good thinking, clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset. Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this? No. What did you do then? Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up. Drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. Run, woman. Run past them and out the street where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can. Why didn't you run away from here, as a matter of fact? Why are you here now? I already ran. I ran from the entire isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets. Right, what happened after you went downstairs? Sylvie was tending at the bar. She looked down. A lot of other people were there. The Hardies were there at the table in front of the stage. I think the union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time, she pauses. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything when Ruby knew something was wrong. Ruby? Before we continue, who is Ruby? Ruby, you know, the leader. Got it. We've got a name. That's all we need. The leader of what? The Hardie boys. Hold on, so she's the leader? She says it as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardie was the leader of the Hardie boys. Well, normally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen. Like, things they need taken care of. She's the organizer. She's like the wolf, isn't she, from Pulp Fiction. This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others. Would you say she is the 8th Hardie boy? Why not? Does she also party with Ruby, however? Did you party with Ruby? No, she smiles nervously. The beads on her teeth shine. Still, there's something there. She won't tell you now. Okay, let's go. What then? Ruby said, let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower to keep him upright. To mislead you, they were tampering with the body. To produce lividity matching a hanging. Yes. We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this 20 minutes after death? Oops. About 20, yes, Ruby explained. It would make the blood, you know what it does. She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do? Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lily in the bathroom. I had put his clothes back on, his armour too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. What did you do while they were hanging him? Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that they would lay low or something, so I did. So where's Ruby now? I don't know, I haven't seen her since. We'll need to take this question to the Hardie boys, okay? When it happened, did you hear a gunshot? When he was shot, she thinks. I may have, I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot. Maybe it was a sniper rifle. Could the people... I'm going to be upfront with it. Did you kill Lily? What? She gathers the vestiges of her strength. Why would I put myself through this insanity? The wind picks up. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that, but I would never hurt him. All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. Now you guys suddenly have the theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark. Desires drive people loco. Drugs were an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end. What does that mean? Drugs do make you aggressive. No, she shakes her head. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought you Rebel people would be more enlightened on this, she pauses. I'm sorry, officer. I'm under some stress here. Right. Right, answer some other questions. It's okay if you did this in self-defense. I did not kill him to defend myself from rape, she says. I told you before that wasn't what happened. Okay. I think this is a waste of time. Could the people have killed him could the people after you have killed him? That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break, and I thought they'd found me. They killed me to punish me. They killed him to punish me. All last week I tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. She looks at her cigarette so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. Either way, it's something to consider. We can't go after Luke's gap, not yet. Loose cap, not yet. There are other saner leads. I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know is that you'll get nothing from there. Why did you call the cops if you're hiding? Because I'm an idiot, the answer comes fast. Which is an indicator of truth. I don't think so. Why did you do it? You have to understand, these people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting, and they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. She shakes her head. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Revachol. Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer. It makes you sweat. When was the window changed? Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs. Well, that matches up with what we've been told. Took care of it. She takes a drag. You should have another look at that window. After this, reconstruct the scene. It's right there. In her bedroom inside? Yes. You see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. I think we're done here for now. She nods silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door. He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. I've got a 28% chance of doing this. In God's name, wake up. I'll do this. I need to talk to you about your room again. Oh, the door, yes. That door there, point to it. Did you know it leads downstairs? I did not. She takes a drag of her cigarette. Do you think this has something to do with what happened? It's possible. There's a peephole on the other side looking at your bedroom. No, and I think we should leave that. I'm actually not going to tell her. There were tracks on the floor there recent. That isn't good. She feels like quarry encircled, her eyes dart at the door. It's an old pinball workshop, the room back there. The place used to be a pinball arcade. I'm glad someone's had fun. I'm not going to tell her about that because it might shake her up. I hate to say it, but you've got sad all over the place. I've got other questions. Can I ask more about you for the record? What is orange? A bad memory of what? Sorry, a bad memory, officer. A bad memory of what? Of lilacs and lightning. She squints her eyes as if to see them in the distance. Park, glass, aluminium, Redifont, the conference city. It's always autumn there. At night at least it was for me. What's so bad about that? Nothing, if you're no longer there. The conference centres are filled with people who get angry at you if you do something wrong. Did you do something wrong? We already know she did, because we're like doing this in retrospect. Sooner or later everyone does. Could we take a look at your passport, please? I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candour. Why? They say so in your tourist brochure, to keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. How do I know I've told you your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would have come up with a more mainstream name than Klassje Amandu. It's a weird name. I'm pretty sure I have the legal right to demand your passport, miss. Look, officers, she turns to face you both. I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering in a city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. Okay then. What the hell's that noise? She's pouring her coffee out. Oh, she pours herself some more coffee. Right, hold on. Right, hold on. Let's save it. I want to pass this drama check. What's this? As you look back, you think, so love did do him in after all. I was right, wasn't I? If it weren't for her, we would not have been there. The shot would not have been connected with his soft plate. It killed him. Look at Klaasje. No, communism killed him, remember? Love made it possible. You know this much. Turn to Klassje. Looks like love did him in after all. She's silent, holding onto her coffee mug. No vapour rises from it, it's cold. Remember the silence. The lady is dangerous. People suffer around her. It appears this one has not been entirely corrupted. This may help. This may help the others see. Say nothing, let her answer. Yeah, she finally breaks the silence. I'd like to think he didn't love me, or that it was chemically induced and not real. Why? Easier that way, she takes a sip. Was it real? I don't know. She looks down at the yard, then back to her coffee. Real as anything. What is communism in this? You do not know. A wind of needles, airships flutter in the stratosphere. How do I know all this then? Who knows? It's getting cold out. You should go. Finished thought. Right, I'm making a hard save here. $7.42. Come on, baby, we can do this. I want to do this. Drama.
I was just thinking what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
42%. Come on, baby, I need this. Failure. Fuck. But we are awake, sire. She has been forthcoming with solid details women usually conceal. More shocking details of sexual kind. We are bulwark unbreached. Wrong. Volition. You've been breached, bulwark. You've been breached like 1,000 times now. So you say, but give us one example of deceit, just one example. I remember doubting she made the call she said she made to the police. Just a proposition. Could the lurid explicitness conceal something less sensational but more illegal? I remember doubting she made the phone call. There is no doubt the lady could not bear it. Why is drama protecting her? Try not to sweat so profusely in her presence too. You'll blow your chances. Fuck that. Drama's a cocksucker, like. So, what was that drama? Can I increase my drama? Hold on 2 seconds. I need to figure out what it was. I think it was a drama check. It is.
I was just thinking what a nice evening it is.
Yes, I'm sure you were. Drama. Put that on. Right, let's do it.
I was just
That's
thinking
better.
what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
Failed again. Fuck off, man. Fucking dog shit this, like. Just pass it. 58%. I've got more than a 50-50 chance and I still fail it. Come on. I know that's how I know that's not how probability works, but I want to know what's happening with her. I need to get to the bottom of this. Because it's interesting.
I was just thinking what a nice
Done it.
evening it is for taking
Who?
part in a murder investigation.
Who? What, dear lord? You've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not the most fair and just. After all, she's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station. I'm going to call her out on her name first. Your real name isn't Klassje Amandu. I agree. The lieutenant turns to her. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you. Okay, her voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what? Okay, it's not. Good, you can tell me the truth. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to... Come in, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name, so I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. She looks at her hands, the fingernails, a chip white. I'm so tired of it. Was the passport bullshit too? A passport you keep hidden? No, it's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Klassje Amandu. It says Anouk Mieja Smith. Falsified documents. Passport and visa, she nods. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name Mieja Smith to hurt me. Why would they do that? I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't like that. They don't take that lightly. She rushes to explain. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now. She fears an arrest. Right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her. Where's the boy? West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. She points towards a clump of ruins on the western horizon. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I can even find them now. It's useless. West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. We have to check this boy out. Accept the task. He makes a note. You're welcome to. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline. Tell me your real name. It's Katarzine Alaxi. Okay, so the other one was her alias that's in the passport, her documents. Another name she goes by is Klaasje, which she uses now in Martinez, but her real name is Katarzine. Katarzine. The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so. I'll keep calling you Klassje. I think I'll do that in sake of her safety. I'll keep calling you Klassje. That's cool. She nods at the ashtray, then up at you. She doesn't feel like a Klassje. She feels like nothing. You're probably not even Miss Orange 37, are you? I am. Her smile quivers. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me. Yes, they can for lying. Enough, conclude. Right. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station. I did. She takes a step forward. What is this? I called your desk or wherever it is. Numbers are all over town. Call 800-102 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says. I do actually believe her. What time did you make the call? Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12. Lieutenant nods in your direction. It checks out. Right. Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, why have we not arrested her yet? There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention. A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. Let's change the subject for the time being. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this. Okay. Because I am a tiger. I'm not going to arrest her. Because if all of this checks out, which it does, the story matches up with the Hardie boys. She didn't kill them, although she did help. Well, she got in the way of a police investigation, but I can understand why she did it. Right then. That was... Fucking hell, that's a pretty intense episode there.
I was just thinking
Right, what I want to do is... We'll call it an episode here. It's getting on at 8 o'clock. When I come back next episode, what I'm going to do is... I need to make Titus give up Ruby's location. So I'll try that next episode. But I do want to clear up a few side quests. Like, I want to do the Kuno quest, which I can do by getting rid of Kim. By telling him to take the body in. I'll do that first thing next episode. I want to investigate these. The clothes in the trash. So I need to ask Kuno and ask God. Yeah, I think next episode I want to clear up all of these side missions. And then at the end of it, we'll talk to Titus. Or should I do that first? I'm not sure. See, I've got a couple of things I need to talk to God about. And I need to talk to God about the secret back room. Okay. Right, we'll do that. I'm going to do a bit of exploring next episode. And just tie up some loose ends. Okay, lads. Hope you enjoyed the episode. See you in the next one.